I'm going to go ahead and get started. And if you join in during the my iStampin Live, that's wonderful. So thank you for joining me a little bit later today than I had announced yesterday. My name is Kara and I am with iStampin.com. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I normally do my iStampin Lives on Fridays, and yesterday I had to clean my room, so you may have seen me cleaning my room live. So I promised you that I would make 2 projects for you today. So this is the first one. This is a really sweet Valentine's Day card. And then the second project is going to be a little gift bag. And when I make that project, I will announce the 2 winners for my giveaway. One is the giveaway winner from last Friday. So to be entered into my drawing, what you need to do is in the comments section, you want to type that you have shared your video, and then just right next to it you'll see the share link. If you just hit that, if you share it to your Facebook page and comment below that you have shared, then you will be entered into my drawing for a giveaway that I will do next Friday. All right, so and then if you have any questions, just write them there in the comment box. I look at them throughout the Facebook Live, but if I don't answer your question, I'll try to remember to do this towards the end before I sign off. Okay? All right, so let me show you the products that I used to make this darling Valentine's Day card. And this is coming from the Painted with Love suite. So this is in our Occasions catalog. This catalog started January 3rd. It goes through the end of May. It is while supplies last, but I think with Valentine's Day, we're doing good. But I am going to be using the designer series paper right here. It's called Painted with Love, and you can find this collection on page 18, 19, and 20. I'm going to be using the Surely Love You bundle, and you save 20%, excuse me, not 20%, that was that was in the previous. You save 10% if you purchase it as a bundle, and I'm going to be using the heart from the Lots to Love box. And then the stamp set that I got that from is on the next page, and it's called Heart Happy. Whoop, no, I'm sorry, it's right here. Sure Do Love You. That's the other project. I'm getting ahead of myself. So here you're going to see that, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera, but there's a little ombre effect to the stamp, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So you're just going to need a few supplies for this, so why don't we get started, and I'll tell you what you need as we go along. So let me get my little packet here. So what I have done is I have die cut 2 different size hearts from the Painted with Love Specialty Designer Series paper. I just went through and picked 2 patterns, and I have used our Sweet and Sassy framelits. So you can see right here we have actually 2 different shapes of hearts. We have a more traditional type heart and then kind of a fat bouncy heart. I used the 2 largest hearts to die cut these out, and you will just die cut this on your Big Shot. So and these are double-sided, so you can pick whichever pattern you prefer. The specialty has some gold foil on there, so it's really pretty. So I liked these 2 sides the best. And then the next thing you're going to do is go ahead, so put these off to the side. We'll be using those in just a second. The next thing you will do is just cut a piece of a Blushing Bride cardstock. This measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I've already scored this at 4 1/4. Now here, if you're new to Stampin' Up and aren't familiar with our catalogs, with the designer series paper, we always list the colors that are in the collection. And so if you're ever needing to know, like to coordinate and things like that, you can always find that down here. And then also, as a reminder, for every $50 that you spend from now until the end of March, you will be eligible to purchase or select something for free from our Celebration brochure. So it's every $50 before tax and shipping. And there's 2 different levels this year. We have a level 1, which is our $50 items, and a level 2, which is a $100 item that you can choose for free. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of stamping. And I am going to be using Blushing Bride for a little tone on tone, and then our whites craft ink. Now our craft pads are a little bit different now. If you can believe it, I've had this ink pad since the very first time I was introduced to Stampin' Up, which was back in 2003. I have never inked this sucker up. That just tells you how juicy this thing was at the very beginning. I think they're not that juicy now, but it's crazy that I've had this stamp pad that long. So what you're going to do is we are going to be using 2 of the stamps, these smaller stamps, and I used Always and I'm Yours. So I'm going to get those 2 out, and I'm going to put those on blocks, and then we're just going to make just a little bit of a background. And I'm going to start off with the Blushing Bride. And on my sample, I stamped off once. I wanted it to be really, really subtle. So what I'm doing is I'm just inking it up, and I'm going to stamp off on my grid paper and then just come in and ink. And sometimes I forget to stamp off, so it's a little bit darker, and that's okay. If you make a mistake, it's no big deal. These are handmade, so it's not going to be perfect. So I'm just randomly stamping on the front of the card. And to make it look really organic and natural, you want to make sure that you stamp off the sides of your card. Just, whoops, see, like right there, I just messed up. No big deal. I'll show you a trick if you do that. Just, you know, stamp off. Okay. So what I'm going to do next is come in with my craft ink, and I'm not going to stamp off here, and I'm just going to randomly stamp again, and I'm going to overlap. I'm going to stamp on some of the pink hearts. Whoops. And I'm going to stamp on top of the one that I forgot to stamp off on, and that's just going to kind of tone down that color where it's going to not look like I made a mistake. Okay, come up here. I need to stamp off on, or kind of have one going off the side. Right there. And we're going to be covering this up, so it doesn't have to be perfect or anything like that. Okay, so that's our background. And so now what we can do is go ahead and adhere our hearts to the front of the card. And let me grab my snail for this. And I'm just going to just place the largest heart on the left side, just like that. And then we're going to come in with the smaller heart. So how's everybody's day going? Are y'all having a nice Saturday? Hey, Emily. I had a nice Saturday, other than the unexpected having to do something with my daughter's dance costume first thing this morning. Wasn't expecting that, but you know, that's kind of what she does. She tells me things at the last minute. I'm gonna kind of have this one be tilted a little bit. Okay, so now what you're going to do is just grab a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock. Let's see if you want exact measurements. This is like 2 3/4 by 4. So that should be plenty big. You're going to get this stamp right here. And like I had mentioned earlier, we're going to be, once we stamp it, we're going to be die cutting that out. So that's plenty of room to die cut that. Now to do this ombre effect with the stamp, I am using 2 of our Stampin' Right markers. This is Rich Razzleberry and Melon Mambo. I should know this by heart, but I don't want to tell you wrong information. Yes, okay. So both of these colors are in the Brights collection. So when you get the Stampin' markers, you get all of these colors. So it's 10 colors. You're only having to invest in one of the collections. So what I'm going to do is if you've never used our Stampin' Right markers, there's 2 ends. There's a brush end and a pen end. And the line, the thicker line, that tells you that this is the brush in, and there's a little image. And then the thin line, that's the pin, and it's a 0.5 millimeter pin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and just, I've kind of got the marker at an angle, and I'm just going to color the top and the bottom of the stamp. And when with our red rubber stamps, this technique is just, it's beautiful. The results are always so nice. And now I'm coming in with the Melon Mambo, and I'm coloring over parts where I colored in with the rich razzleberry, just so it's it blends in better. All right. And then the most important thing is you want to huff on it. This reactivates the ink. And so that's what it looks like. And when I smudged it a little bit, you know what? Let's turn it over. I don't want that to be ruined. And see, that's the great thing about our cardstock, is that it's thick enough that you can turn it over and stamp it again. So hopefully, I don't know what I did. I don't know how I smeared it, but let's try this again. I mean, it's not that noticeable, but on video, I don't want y'all to see a mistake. Okay, that looks a lot better. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk over to my other desk, and I'm going to die cut this out really quickly. So that's what it looks like. Super, super cute. And so next what I'm going to do is I am using the Love Mini Tinsel Trim Combo Pack. It comes in this really pretty, kind of like a mauve color, and then the gold. I'm using this mauve color, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of make like a little nesting look to it, you know, on the back side of this, but I am going to use some glue dots to put that down. I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals, and I found that if I use the dimensionals to adhere the tinsel trim to it, that I had to put more adhesive, more dimensionals down, because like the tinsel trim, it's kind of thick, and so you need, I feel like I needed glue dots also. And then I'll just come back in and put dimensionals down wherever. So let's see, where's my paper? Here we go, my paper piercer. I'll use this to pick up some more glue dots. And I may have cut this just a little long. I think I cut it like maybe 10 inches. I don't think that's necessary. But anyway, so it's going to kind of look like that. Okay. All right, so now what we can do is grab your dimensionals and then just put them wherever the tinsel trim isn't. And this should be, I think we should be able to pop this up. Okay. And so that's just going to go right here in the middle. And just mush that down if you need to. And there's the card. Just a really simple, sweet little Valentine's Day card. This one's a little bit different. I did the twine just a little, I did it just one little loop and the ends are sticking out, but so you can do it either way, whichever way you prefer. So again, that was using the Sure Do Love You bundle along with the Painted with Love paper and the Love Mini Tinsel Trim. All of that stuff you can find on page 19. So I hope y'all like that. I just loved adding the white. That was really fun. I haven't used my white craft ink in ages, so it was fun to pull that out.